And Schwartzman, as they'd probably say in Champions League terms, has the group of death in his mind. That's probably how he would class it. And as you can see from the head-to-heads there, that's quite surprising to see as a 2-2 head-to-head with Alex Zverev, though. So that's quite interesting. But as you can see with Djokovic and Medvedev, 0-9 in 9 attempts there against those two.
So the first thing what sort of jumps out is obviously Djokovic. He's got a favourable record against all three. The only other one's Zverev against Medvedev. However, recently we've just seen what happened there. So I would probably ignore that little bit of green there. I think that's a very even affair. And if anything, I think Medvedev edges it. We saw what happened in the Paris final and also Shanghai as well last year. Exactly. And it's another big stage. I'm going to just look at the fact that Djokovic, Medvedev, Zverev are very proficient on hard courts. So I think they're all going to have really a favourable position over Schwartzman. We've recently seen Medvedev play Zverev. So I think that gives a good indication where them two are at. And then with Djokovic, it's Djokovic, like he's in his own sort of league, isn't he? He's got a good chance to beat all three of them.
I think they're probably obviously the closest odds will be against Medvedev. Medvedev is likely to bring the biggest challenge to him, I think, especially he'll have a lot of confidence coming in after Paris now. Do not expect to see Djokovic turn up like an absolute fish out of water. I think he's just going to be the same old Djokovic. You're just going to be hard to break down, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in the final this year.
I'm going to say my prediction now. I'm actually going for Djokovic and Medvedev.
Yeah.
I think Zverev's not going to, I don't know. I think he's not going to go through. I know it's really hard to say. He's been playing just so well. But recently, Medvedev beat him. I think that will be the same outcome again. And Djokovic is Djokovic. And I think he's going to be really rolled up to try and equal Roger Federer for the most ATP final wins. So for me, he's going to be right up there as well. So it's between them two to be, number 1 and 2 in the group.
I think so. I think it's a really fair assumption as well, considering the results of recent weeks. And you just got to take into account Djokovic is Djokovic at the end of the day. I think this is going to mean more to him than the last tournaments. And he's not going to want to... This is the last time this has ever been held in London. They've obviously had a 12-year stint there. It's going to be moving elsewhere. He'll probably want to be remembered as the last person to win there, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, let's move on to the other group.
Let's have a group. I actually think this group, despite what other people might think, this is wide open. I think any one of these guys could be going through to the next round.
They've all got brilliant forehands. Nadal probably out of the four. It's his least, for sure, it's his least favoured surface. However, it is Nadal. And as Ken and Thomas were reminding me earlier, you've got to keep the faith in Rafael Nadal. He can pull it off at any occasion. He's one of the big three, arguably the greatest of all time. He's been winning everything. And there's no reason why he can't break the duck and win here in the ATP Finals for the first time ever.
Exactly. Well, I totally agree. If anything, it's going to give him the added, kick up the rear to go and win it. But he hasn't won it. How many more years has he got? How many more chances will he have to win it? So that's going to be motivation for him. But then you look at the other guys, you've got Dominic Thiem, who's going to be wanting to come back now. He's probably thinking, I need to finish the year with a bang.
A bit of history in the tournament. Nadal, he's reached the final before against Roger Federer, lost. Thiem, obviously that final against, was it last year against Tsitsipas, who won. And Tsitsipas is the champion of this tournament. So we've got two runners-up and a champion, then Rublev first time. Rublev, no pressure on him whatsoever.
No.
Won the most titles this year, more than any other player, more than Novak Djokovic, who's been on a crazy run.
Scary.
So if you look at the four of them, I would say the momentum is with Rublev. However, the other three are a lot higher caliber. So you've got to take it all into consideration. I think it's, like you said, this is the more open group. Who do you think are the two players from Group London to advance? You can make a case for all of them. I know there's a lot of Rafa fans there. It's hard to go against him. I reckon Ben will, and that's why I'm reluctant to pass it over to him. I can just feel him going against him now.
You can't go against him. I'm surprised. But yeah, for me, if he plays the way he has played all year, I see Andrei Rublev going through. I'm not sure what position. And I actually see, if if he comes back to his best, I see Dominic Thiem and Rublev going through this, and I see Tsitsipas actually going out.
For me, I'm going to go. My number one advancing from this group is. Well, this is. I've not even thought about it. I've been talking about it. It's so hard. It is really hard. It's not Nadal. Nadal's going to be my number 2. So I think Nadal's going to advance, and he's going to be my number 2. My number 1. I think it's tough, but I'm going to stick with my gut of what I said before the tournament, and that's Thiem. I think Thiem's going to win the group.
Ooh,
and Nadal's going to be my number 2. Rublev and Tsitsipas are going to go out.
That's offensive. It's safe, but yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's the top 2 seeds from the group. But
oh, Ben, don't give me that rubbish. I'm not playing it safe. This is not me playing it. This is being realistic. Who's in your number 1 and 2 of the other group?
I've got to go for Djokovic 1 and Med 2. So we're going
I'm
to
the
end
other way
up
then. I'm Med 1, Djokovic 2.
All right, so I'm going to have Djokovic versus Thiem in one semi-final, and then Rublev Medvedev in the other one for me.
Gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, my 2 semi-finals are this. We will have Nadal, Medvedev, and Djokovic Thiem. Yep.
Then what?
Well, this is the big question, isn't it? Are we going to see the big 3 in a final, or are we going to see some young guns there? I think Nadal's not going to make it to the final. He's going to get to the semis. I think that's just going to be a step too far. Medvedev, personally, I think the way he's been playing, I think he's going to be too tough a test for him. We saw what happened with Zverev, and he was able to beat Nadal relatively comfortably. And then the other one, I've got Djokovic Thiem. This is where it's very tricky. And for me, it's completely 50-50. But I'm going to go with Novak Djokovic.
So you've left
So we'll have a Novak Medvedev final.
You've left me with my semi-finals, which would be Rublev Medvedev and Djokovic Thiem, I believe.
Yeah.
And I've actually got the same final as well. I've got a Medvedev Djokovic final. So we're both going for the same thing, but in a different way of going about it. But I think the question is, who's going to win it, JG?
Medvedev.
Djokovic.
Yeah.
I think Djokovic is the best at the moment. I think if he's well rested and he comes back into this tournament, raring to go, wanting to win it, his retrieval skills being there, it's going to be hard to beat. He's got winning records against everybody that he's playing.